little bit of background history to myself. I was diagnosed with MS in 2009, and over the next few years my disease came out in different ways. I found that I would just stumble and fall for no reason, and again over the next few years other symptoms started to appear. I walked with a limp. I had toilet problems, mainly urgencies to go to the toilet, which I couldn't explain. I later found out that it was a symptom of MS, and this progressed within 6 years to me not being able to walk very well at all. I walked with an ankle brace. I needed a walking stick. Just to walk for 5 minutes. It was a real effort, and that was basically the biggest problem for me, was the walking. I also suffered with fatigue, balance issues, and a little bit of sort of brain fog, as people call it, where you just don't think clearly. And that was what then spurred me on to try and find a solution and some sort of a treatment for my problem. I researched over probably 2 or 3 years and found stem cells, and found that it went back to the 1980s, where professors, university professors and doctors were actually talking about stem cells and how they can help in a variety of ways to repair the human body. Before going for my treatment in Moscow, I actually asked the advice of my neurologist, and he advised me against going and having it done. He said that I would be wasting my money and that it wasn't a proven treatment. And since coming back, I went to see him 6 months later, and he actually examined my legs, he examined me, and he said that I had more strength in my leg, that I was walking better, and that I had made a big recovery, which in progressive MS is unheard of. I arrived in Russia at the Moscow airport. I was met at the airport as promised by Elena from the company, from the clinic, and I was put into a taxi and I was taken to the clinic. As soon as we got to the clinic, I was greeted by people who could speak English, and everything then became very pleasurable. I was made to feel very welcome. I was shown to an amazing room, given drinks, food, everything that I needed, and my stay in Moscow had begun. The very next day I was met by a team of doctors who explained what was going to happen. I started off by having a blood test done, which I'd never had offered to me in the UK. They tested my blood for everything, even mineral deficiencies, slight raises in metals, all sorts of things. Any abnormality of the blood was tested. This put my mind at rest, and I thought to myself, yeah, this is real. They are a real company. They are actually doing the right things. The doctors were absolutely second to none. The nurses were there. As soon as you rang for them or you shouted for them, a nurse would appear, and everything was absolutely amazing. Since having my treatment in Moscow, I came back to the UK. I was instantly able to walk through the airport without using my stick, without using my ankle brace, which I just could not believe. I was a little bit tired, which was understandable for everything that I'd been through, but I was able to walk unaided, and I realised that my toilet urgencies had gone, which made a big difference to the quality of my life. I was able to go out without worrying about would I be able to make it to the nearest toilet, where was the nearest toilet, could I walk that far, could I walk to the shop without needing to sit down somewhere where there wasn't a seat. All these things I just suddenly found that they were okay. Life for me is so much better now. I cannot believe how much better. I now feel like a 50-year-old again, instead of a 50-year-old in an 80-year-old's body. I'm indebted to the people at the clinic, to the doctors, and to all of the staff for giving me my life back.